In women's sprinting, there's some debate surrounding the topic of who should be recognised as the greatest of all time. Some sprinting pundits have remarked that Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce is the undisputed GOAT of women's sprinting due to her medals and longevity, and have also said that she's even eclipsed Usain Bolt as the greatest 100-metre sprinter when comparing both male and female athletes.
She's got to be the greatest 100-metre sprinter the world has ever seen, including Bolt, male or female, doesn't matter.
I'm saying yes, to have her 5th medal solidifies her as the greatest of all times.
This is a take I don't agree with personally, but in this video I'm going to be looking back at the accomplishments of the best female sprinters in history to rank who is the greatest female athlete across both the 100 and 200 metres. Flojo reached the greatest peak of any female sprinter in 1988, having set world records in both the 100 and 200 metres, which still stand to this day, while also securing the gold medal in both events at the Seoul Olympics. Despite the controversy surrounding her world records, particularly the recorded wind reading of 0 in her 10.49 run, I personally disagree with the argument that her records have ruined women's sprinting, and I believe that her setting the bar so high is contributing to the incredible performances we see happening today. The gap between her world records and the second fastest runs of all time has closed dramatically in recent years, which is helping to expand the perception of what's seen as possible on the track. When Flojo ran 10.49, there was evidence to suggest that the wind was blowing directly across the track, and seeing how she has also ran 10.61 and 10.62 with a legal tailwind, as well as an equivalently remarkable time of 21.34 in the 200, I think it's fair to say that she was just far superior to all other athletes. Many track fans would agree that she had the greatest form across both male and female athletes, but despite her amazing execution, a lot of fans will point to the fact that she has only won 2 individual gold medals as a means of downplaying her greatness. I don't think this should be held against her, because in the past it was more common for athletes to disappear from the sport after achieving Olympic gold, since the first World Championships were only established in 1983 and were much more of an afterthought, with the first 3 editions having a 4-year gap between competitions. Flojo did take silver in the 200 metres at the 1987 World Champs, but prolonging her career to try to take gold at the 91 World Champs and 92 Olympics, when she had already proved herself as being light years ahead of her competition, didn't seem necessary. An example of an athlete who only ran 1 season but is still regarded as a legendary figure for his performances during that season is Bob Hayes. The same point can also be made for athletes such as Jim Hines and Tommy Smith, all of which I don't think compare to Flojo in terms of single season dominance. If we're taking Olympic medals as the highest accolade in the sport, given that the event only comes around once every 4 years, then Elaine Thompson Hera has a strong case to make in the GOAT argument, given that she's won Olympic gold twice in both the 100 and 200 metres. She also currently holds the Olympic record of 10.61 and has run the second fastest time ever in the event of 10.54. Thompson has the second most sub 10.8 100 metre times with 17, which shows how regularly she can hit elite times, even though she had multiple seasons hampered by injuries, and in the 200 metres she holds a personal best of 21.53, which ranks her as the 3rd fastest woman of all time in the event. Seeing that she's shown a return to form at the end of the 2023 season with some impressive performances, it's not out of the question that she retains her Olympic crown in Paris next year. If she finishes her career with 6 individual Olympic gold medals, I think she will have to be considered the GOAT of women's sprinting. Even by achieving the triple in just 1 event, it will propel her to legendary status, since no female athlete has done it before. One athlete who looked to be on path to becoming the greatest was Marion Jones, who in 1998 became the 2nd fastest woman ever in both the 100 and 200 metres with 10.65 and 21.62. She wouldn't manage to lower these personal bests again, but went on to win 100 and 200 gold at the Olympics in 2000, with these wins eventually being scratched off as disqualifications in 2007 once she admitted to past use of PEDs. She still maintains the gold medals she won in the 100 metres at the World Champs in 1997 and 99. The woman who has recently come closest to breaking one of Flojo's world records has been Sharika Jackson, who ran 21.41 to win the 200 metres at this year's World Championships in Budapest, and currently holds 5 of the 8 fastest times in history in the event. She's won back-to-back gold medals in the World Championships, and as things stand, it doesn't look like anyone's going to be able to challenge her at the Olympics next year, which might just be the perfect stage for her to break Flojo's record of 21.34. When it comes to the 100 metres, she's the joint 5th fastest woman in history and has been making significant improvements with each season, seeing as she's still a relative newcomer to the event, running her first sub-11 in 2021, with her base in sprinting being built in the 400 metres. This leads me to believe that despite her age of 29, she's only starting to enter her prime years and could end up running 10.5 in the not too distant future. Surprisingly, she has already run under 10.8 a total of 14 times, which is the third most after Elaine Thompson and Fraser Price. This stat helps put into perspective just how consistently she is running world-class times, and she may even be slightly underrated as a 100 sprinter just because she has yet to win a major gold in the event, seeing as she's competing in the most deeply talented era we've ever seen. If Jackson wins an Olympic gold in the 200 metres and manages to break the world record during her career, she'll go down as the GOAT of women's 200 metre sprinting. What it would take to propel her to becoming the GOAT in sprinting overall is hard to assess at this point, but in addition to the hypotheticals mentioned for the 200, she would need at least an Olympic 100 metre gold while running even faster times than she's recorded already. Another female sprinter who's somewhat considered to have GOAT potential is Shacari Richardson. Richardson won this year's 100 metre final in Budapest, beating out Jackson and Fraser Price, and while she hasn't ran under 10.8 as much as Jackson, with her current tally standing at 9, she has been running 10.7 since she was only 19, and it seems that her early promise is now starting to show its rewards. Richardson has run under 10.8 wind-aided on 5 occasions, including her annulled run from the 2021 Olympic trials, with her fastest time under all conditions being the 10.57 she ran earlier this season. A common saying in the track world is that if the body has gone there once, it can go there again. So with Richardson having so many fast runs under her belt at just 23 years old, while also executing a flawless race in the final at her first ever major championships, it's easy to see why many people think she has what it takes to one day become the GOAT female sprinter. This optimism comes even without her having ran any exceptionally fast times in the 200 metres, although she showed this year that she could earn her place on the podium by taking the bronze medal in Budapest with a time of 21.92. Seeing as she is a shorter sprinter like Fraser Price, it would seem instinctive for the 100 metres to be the event she excels in, but the fact that she runs in a very relaxed and efficient manner, allowing exceptional speed maintenance, means we may see her making big improvements to her 200 metre times in the coming years. Given that she ran a time of 21.61 this year in the heats of the US Champs with a tailwind of plus 2.6, there are signs that she has a lot of potential in the event. In my video ranking the female athletes with the greatest sprinting form ever, I ranked Richardson in 7th place, but having seen just how composed she was able to stay while making up a large deficit in the World Champs semi-final, followed by flawless execution in the final, I have to say that she may have the best technique of any active sprinter right now. With the Paris Olympics taking place in 2024, a gold medal for Richardson in the 100 metres will put her on a trajectory where she could equal or improve upon the Olympic medal hauls of the sprinting greats that have gone before her. Having switched my focus in recent months to making longer, more researched videos, I've had less opportunity to continue creating the kind of videos that helped to launch my channel, which included race compilations, fastest times videos, and every race of athletes' careers. One issue with uploading these videos is that any new performance from an athlete could leave these videos outdated soon after upload. So if I kept these videos updated, your subscription feed will be clogged with repetitive videos. Since I had a list of dozens of unfinished videos I believe my subscribers would like to see, I decided to take time away from creating longer form videos so that I could make a library of videos on all of these additional topics. This library of additional videos will be hosted on my recently created Patreon account, with the benefit to hosting them on Patreon being that videos will be updated whenever a new relevant performance occurs. I've uploaded 20 new videos exclusively to Patreon for anyone who would like to become a member, and some of these videos include Shacari Richardson all sub 11 second races, Noah Lyles all sub 20 second races, the fastest 200 meter run from every lane, and the new sprinting comebacks montage. I'll also be uploading a series where I take a look back at the biggest rivalries in track and rewatch all of the old battles, breaking down the race performances. If you'd like to help contribute to the channel, which will allow me to commit more time to delivering more frequent and higher quality content for YouTube, please consider becoming a member today. Going back to what the track pundit said at the beginning of the video about Fraser-Pryce being the GOAT, when we are looking at just women's 100 meter accomplishments, it's hard to argue against that, since she has won 2 Olympic gold medals and 5 World Championship gold medals. In the 200 meters, she has a personal best of 21.79 and 1 gold medal from the 2013 World Championships. In the 100 meters, her personal best stands at 10.60, which is the 3rd fastest performance of all time, and she has run by far the most sub 10.8s of any athlete with 32. Her sub 10.7 tally is even more impressive, having gone under the mark on 9 occasions, and given her 100 meter dominance, a lot of people will place her as the best women's sprinter period, despite her not having the same level of dominance in the 200. To conclude this video, I separated athletes into different tiers on what I consider to be the GOAT pyramid, and starting with tier 3, the final arrangement is Gail Devers, Carmelita Jeter, Gwen Torrance, Shacari Richardson, Marlies Gore, Silke Muller, Barbel Wachel, and Renate Stecher. In tier 2, I included Veronica Campbell-Brown, Merlene Ottey, Marion Jones, Marita Koch, Evelyn Ashford, Sharika Jackson, and Allyson Felix. In tier 1, I included Elaine Thompson Hera, Florence Griffith Joyner, and Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce. Having not yet gone into detail on some of the athletes I've named, I'm going to give a quick rundown on the remaining athletes in tier 2, with Evelyn Ashford and Marita Koch both being the last athletes to hold the world records before Flojo. Ashford's former world record in the 100 meters was 10.76, and she has 1 Olympic gold medal in the event from 1984. Marita Koch's former world record in the 200 meters was 21.71, and she has 1 World Championships gold in the event from 1983. Both athletes have impressive personal bests in both events, particularly compared to the other athletes at the time. Merlene Ottey has impressive PBs of 10.74 and 21.64 and has won World Championship gold twice in the 200 meters, along with an array of other medals in an incredible 30-plus year career. Before Fraser-Pryce started dropping world-leading times in her mid-30s, Ottey was the undisputed queen of longevity, and given that she was still able to run under 11 seconds at 40 years old, many will say that she still is. Veronica Campbell-Brown is another Jamaican athlete who holds marginally slower personal bests than Ottey, but when it comes to winning gold medals, Campbell-Brown achieved a level of success beyond what Ottey was able to. In the 100 meters, Campbell-Brown has won World Championship gold once in 2007, and in her favoured event of the 200 meters, she has won World Championship gold once in 2011 and Olympic gold twice in 2004 and 2008. These Olympic victories came during an era where she faced extremely tough competition from another one of the sprinting greats, Allyson Felix. Having taken silver in both 04 and 08, Felix finally took the gold in 2012 when she stormed to a comfortable win. This took her gold medal tally in the 200 meters to 4, having finished first at the World Champs in 3 consecutive championships from 05 to 09. While she placed a great deal of focus on the 400 meters, she did still have a 100 meter personal best of 10.89, despite having no major medals in the event, which I think still warrants her a place in this tier. Do you agree with my greatest female sprinter of all time tier list? And who else would you include? Please leave your thoughts in the comments, and thanks for watching.